Well, good evening once again, and thank you for joining us. My name is Mike Wilson. I am the Executive Director of AIA East Bay. And now that we're here, I have a couple of preliminary words of advice for everybody attending tonight. One, I just want to make sure that we're aware that there's a potential for Zoom bombing. I know that's not a pleasant thing, but for those of you in the room that are registered, if something like that happens, we will have to close the feed, and immediately you will receive an email with a new link. So it'll be a 5-minute pause and we'll join somewhere else. I just have to throw that in there as a just in case. Now let's get started. It's my pleasure to introduce Ashley Reiborchek, President of the AIA East Bay, to kick things off tonight. Ashley.
Thank you, Mike. Good evening, everyone. It's great to see so many familiar faces tonight. Thanks for everyone keeping their cameras on whenever possible. We encourage that you keep your camera on just so that we get this feeling of real people in the room. It's also fun to look around and see people we may not have seen in a while. We'd also like to remind people joining to keep themselves muted during the duration of the show. We have a great program for you this evening with a total of 9 honor awards for best projects submitted in each category, and also several merit awards in cases where our judges felt the project offered something special or exceptional that deserved recognition. This year we had almost 70 submissions, forcing our judges to have to make some challenging decisions, ranging from how to fairly manage situations where judges needed to recuse themselves when they had intimate knowledge of a submitted project, how to group projects into categories that made sense, and of course, how to work collaboratively to reach consensus. At this time, I'd like to introduce our judges for this year's competition. With so many great submissions, the challenge of having 6 architects agree on anything is always a challenge. So choosing winners has been quite interesting this year. Our judges are Janet Tam with Nolan Tam, David Burton with KTGY, Gunnar Hubbard with Thornton and Tomasetti in Chicago, Kristen Siddell from Pakravan and Siddell, Pierluigi Seriano with Pierluigi Seriano Architects, and Fernanda Canales from Fernanda Canales Arquitectura, who cannot be here tonight. So let's give a round of applause for our judges. I'll hand things off now to our Executive Director, Mike Wilson. Mike.
Thanks, Ashley. And good evening to everybody. It's been my job tonight to tell you about the award categories and familiarize yourselves with the People's Choice Award. So first, let's talk about tonight's categories. We have categories for civic, education, housing multifamily, housing single family, healthcare, mixed use, commercial, historic preservation, concept built and unbuilt, and then of course, People's Choice. So I want to give you a little bit of background on how this People's Choice thing works. First of all, we've been inundating you through all of our social media as well as the website and your registration emails, asking you to please go to our website and look at the nominees. The point of this is because the judges for the People's Choice are you, the people. And at the end of our program tonight, we're going to open up a link that's going to take you to a survey so that you can choose your favorite project. And then we will simply award that project. So you'll get a link either by a QR code. Right here, you can scan it on the screen with your phone. My phone is not showing up in the Zoom, but here it is. You all know how to scan a QR code, having got menus from the pandemic eateries we all live in and go to these days. But we're also going to be dropping a link into the chat. So you can click on the link too, and that will take you there. You can review the projects if you haven't already. So with that, let's get started with our first category, which is Civic Projects. It's going to be presented by Tim Nystrom, an AIA East Bay board member and the owner of Nice Designs Architecture. Tim.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. It's a pleasure to be here and to be the first person to present our awards tonight. Happy to get us started tonight. It's an honor to present the award in Civic Projects. But before I do, I want to thank our sponsor for this category. It's Moen. for this design award. It's great to have them supporting our organization for over 10 years now. Thank you so much. I don't know how we would be able to have these programs without such loyal sponsors. So thank you again, Moen, for supporting Civic, the Civic Award tonight. Before I announce the nominees, I wanted to clarify the definition of the Civic project includes libraries, town halls, concert halls, public squares, government buildings, schools, and landmarks such as bridges. And now the nominees for Best Civic Project are Balboa Park Pool by ELS Architecture and Urban Design, Kuthranari Architects, a joint venture. Next is Capitola Library by Nolan Tam Architects. Next is Growers Square by Groundworks Art Office. And last is Hayward Library and Community Center by Nolan Tam. And the winner is Hayward Library and Community Center by Nolan Tam. Congratulations. The new Hayward Library embodies the notion of the heart of the city, and is envisioned as the centerpiece as the social infrastructure to revitalize downtown Hayward. An exterior of warm terracotta facade echoes the surrounding brick city center, while the restrained exterior plays with solid panels and focused areas of glass. In contrast to the Civic exterior, the organic central atrium brings natural light into the core of the building, while a sculptural stair rises through the 3 levels, connecting library service points and providing patrons a sense of discovery and volume. Daylighting analysis was a key contributor to reducing building energy use by more than 50% to achieve extremely ambitious energy goals, making this project one of the largest zero net energy libraries in the nation. Once again, congratulations, Nolan Tam. Our next category is education, presented by Mark Steppen with Studio Square, T-Square.
Oh, the magic of unmuting. Thank you, Tim. It is certainly my pleasure tonight to present the educational projects category and to thank our sponsor, in this case, KTGY Architecture and Planning, for their generous support. As Tim so adequately said it, we as a nonprofit in an institution that needs support, it's great to have the support of all of our sponsors throughout all the years. So thank you all. This category encompasses any building used in a university, college, technical school, K through 12, or other school or academy environment. And it includes academic, research, laboratory, or lecture hall as examples. This year's nominees are the Hub at Adventure Academy by Brian Fegans Architect, Kenyatta College Kinesiology and Wellness Center by ELS Architecture and Urban Design, design build with block construction. Los Medanos College Student Union and Kinesiology Complex by LPA Design Studios. And last, Bill and Adele Jonas Center, the College of Marin by Brick Inc. Thank you all very much. Great projects. But before we announce tonight's honor award winner for this category, the judges felt that there was really another project in this group that deserves special recognition. Therefore, we are awarding a merit award in this category to Kenyatta College Kinesiology and Wellness Center by ELS Architecture and Urban Design, design build with block construction. This new LEED Gold targeted center unites once dispersed facilities to holistic home for wellness. It replaces a 1967 windowless concrete gym where plans for a pool were never realized. Despite prominent siting, the gym held little power as a campus gateway and constrained the school's goal of supporting world-class active learning environments. The new building, cantilevered 30 feet above its hillside, synthesizes multiple program elements and helps students advance in Kenyatta's renowned movement studies, competitive sports, and fitness programs. Congratulations again to ELS Architecture and Urban Design with block construction. And now for tonight's winner in the education category of the honor award goes to the Hub and Adventure Academy, Brian Fegan's architect. A lightweight pre-engineered building system is utilized in unexpected ways to create a series of functional, climate responsive, and inspiring spaces for a K-12 school in Bangalore, India. A simple roof structure with a 150-foot clear span provides sun and rain protection for a sports and assembly hall, stage, and 3 similar studio buildings that house the arts program. The use of simple forms keeps costs low and creates a clarity of expression without added ornamentation. With no municipal water connection and ground wells running dry, the school had to take action. For this net positive water project, rainwater falling on the big roof is collected and conveyed to a holding tank where it seeps into the aquifer, restoring water security for the entire school and neighboring community. Congratulations once again to Brian Fegan's architect. Now our next category is housing multifamily, and that's me presented by Jamie Matherin of Dolan Group. Take it away, Jamie.
Thank you, Mark. It is my pleasure this evening to present the housing multifamily category. And first to thank our sponsor, Nolan Tam Architecture, for their generous support. Thank you, Nolan Tam. So multifamily is defined as a building that houses more than one family at a time. That can be apartments, condos, townhouses, or duplexes. This year, the nominees are 2012 2nd Street by LDP Architecture, Rocky Hill Veterans Housing, David Baker Architects, and G7A. West 10 by Barron Studio Architecture. And the honor award winner in the multifamily housing category is Rocky Hill Veterans Housing, David Baker Architects, and G7A. And happy Veterans Day to the residents and all veterans. Rocky Hill provides much needed homes for chronically unhoused and low-income veterans and families. The community offers 39 new homes, including 1, 3, and 4-bedroom units in a pair of 3-story buildings linked by outdoor circulation. The housing centers on a richly programmed central plaza, or Zocalo, that fosters resident interaction and connection. Topped with a living roof, the freestanding community building offers on-site management and social services, a community hub, and a computer lab. The innovative project combines conventional and modular construction with modified steel shipping containers. The end result afforded residents natural light and openness. The project was originally intended to be all modular to reduce construction cost and schedule. However, due to delays in production and container shipping, the team pivoted to conventional framing, creating seamless composition of multiple techniques. Once again, congratulations to David Baker Architects and G7A. Our next award this evening in the category of housing single family is presented by Devi Dutta Chaudhry. Devi?
Thank you, Jamie. It's my pleasure to present the housing single family category and to thank our sponsor, Ratcliffe, for their generous support. Single family housing is defined in these awards as a freestanding residential building. Single family homes are designed to be used as a single dwelling unit with one owner, no shared walls, and its own land, perhaps becoming a more rare category for the future. But this year's nominees are Blackbird by Furneaux and Hartman Architects, Buena Vista House by Ranger Studio, Plus House by CB Architecture and Design and Timber Architecture, Stinson Beach Writer Studio by Fisher Architecture, Wave House by CB Architecture and Design and Timber Architecture, and finally Lafayette Minimalist by Fisher Architecture. And the honor award in the single family housing category is Blackbird by Furneaux and Hartman Architects. Congratulations for a great project. This house is designed for a couple anticipating retirement, facing health and potential mobility issues, and seeking a lifestyle both more sustainable and more connected to nature. Serious gardeners and cooks, they decided to move from their house in San Francisco to a rural community in Northern California. Although they wanted a smaller home, they needed to be able to periodically accommodate members of their large extended family. In addition, they foresaw the need to provide accommodations for live-in healthcare to allow for aging in place. The house addresses with particular emphasis health, well-being, and design for change. The goal was a house adaptable to multiple scenarios, ultimately allowing for aging in place while being as connected to nature as possible. Beyond the fundamentals of sustainability, the house emphasizes natural ventilation and carefully framed views of the site. Salvage redwood used for crib wall, bump outs, dining table, and special doors are reminders of the unique qualities of the redwood ecosystem they inhabit. Once again, congratulations to Furneaux and Hartman Architects. Next up is our Design for Healthcare category presented by Katie Taylor Ford with Ratcliffe. Katie.
Katie, you're muted.
Thank you. Thanks, Debbie. It's my honor to present the healthcare category and to thank our sponsors, 16500, for their generous support in sponsoring this category. They've been great for lighting selection for a number of years, so we highly recommend them. Healthcare category includes projects where medicine is practiced, such as a health and wellness facility, medical office building, hospital, or research facility. And this year's nominees in this category, we have two of them. MBC Biolabs at 930 Britton Avenue by MBH Architects, and Marin Health Medical Center, Oak Pavilion by Perkins Eastman. And the honor award winner in the healthcare category is MBC Biolabs at 930 Britton Avenue by MBH Architects. Great job. The design team's main goal was to empower entrepreneurial scientists by providing them with a state-of-the-art facility to accelerate their scientific innovations. The spaces can be rented as a co-working type of environment, and by challenging the traditional all-white, sterile-looking research lab, the design team was instead inspired by NBC's vibrant brand colors. They used oranges, greens, and yellows in the materials, the fixtures, and the environmental graphics throughout to connect the laboratory spaces to the common areas. The original warehouse had garage doors, which were replaced with large windows, bringing light to the ground floor laboratories and giving people passing by a view in, as well as those inside a view out. Laboratories and common areas were designed to encourage spontaneous interactions or casual collisions, as we say, to feed off each other for ideas and inspiration. These areas also provide occupants with comfortable places to linger. There is an indoor-outdoor event space that can be used for gatherings, wellness activities, or even for those meeting and connecting for potential venture capital opportunities. Once again, congratulations to MBH Architects. Next up is our mixed use commercial category presented by Jeremy Steinmeier with 16500. Go for it, Jeremy.
Thank you, Katie. And a big thank you to the AIA East Bay leadership and members for having me here tonight representing 16500. It's my pleasure to present a category that is dear to my heart, and that is mixed-use commercial projects. I've spent many a year working on them. This category is sponsored tonight by Tipping Structural Engineers. A mixed-use building is defined as a single building that houses 3 or more significantly sized and hopefully revenue-producing businesses or ventures. Yes, we audited them all. All right, let's get going. For this year, the nominees in this category are 650 Live Oak by Brick Architecture and Interiors, The Uptown Station by MBH Architects, Page Street Mixed Use by Wadlin Plus Design Studio, Moxie Oakland Downtown by Lowney Architecture, and finally 2555 Park Avenue by Brick Architecture and Interiors. Similar to our education category, our judges felt a strong desire to celebrate one project with a merit award. And the merit award for this category goes to 650 Live Oak by Brick Architecture and Interiors. 650 Live Oak reimagines what a mixed-use development can contribute to a community, bringing modern office space, green architecture, below market rate housing, and an urban density to Silicon Valley. The project comprises a 3-story mixed-use building and a 3-story multifamily building that share 2 levels of suburban parking with 2 single-family homes on the adjacent lot. It was important that the design should accommodate both residential families as well as professionals utilizing the mixed-use office building. By pulling the massing back in areas and extruding it in others, 3 main exterior spaces emerged: a dynamic public plaza, a warm residential courtyard, and a flexible office roof garden. Congratulations to Brick for winning the Merit Award in the mixed-use commercial category. And now, continuing on to the Honor Award, here we go. Uptown Station by MBH Architects. Located above the 19th Street BART station, the project also serves as a hub for locals and visitors alike. The main paseo of the building spans an entire city block and creates an indoor streetscape with access to 40,000 square feet of retail and restaurant tenants. The building is also home to 235,000 square feet of office space. Office workers and the public alike pass through a 95-foot-high atrium that was cut into the building as a jewel box for a central public gathering space with natural lighting and views between the offices and the ground floor. To keep the well-earned character of the building, the original concrete structure and seismic steel frame were left exposed, giving the space a decidedly industrial look. The design team paired these elements with oak paneling, Venetian plaster, and large windows to bring in light and create layers of interior spaces. On the office floors, circulation and break spaces surround the floor-to-ceiling atrium glazing. On levels 6, 7, and 8, the rooftop gardens cascade, creating an indoor-outdoor connection and offering flexible space for work. Offices are highlighted with soft finishes and furnishings to make the space comfortable and perform acoustically. Once again, congratulations to MBH Architects. Next up is our historic preservation category presented by Brian Stryzik, your AIA East Bay Vice President. Brian, take it away.
Thank you very much. I'm delighted to present tonight's historic preservation category. Historic preservation is a strategy for conserving significant elements of a building in order to maintain a tangible physical connection to the past. This year's nominees in this category are the Oakland Museum of California by Mark Cabanero Associates, the Paramount Theater Facade Restoration by McGinnis Chin Associates, Inc., the Rejuvenation of an Historic Powerhouse by Marcy Wong, Don Logan Architects, the Historic Alameda High School Restoration by Roki Kwak Architects. Before announcing the honor award winner for this category, our judges felt another project in this group deserved a special recognition. Therefore, the Merit Award in Historic Preservation category goes to the Rejuvenation of a Historic Powerhouse by Marcy Wong, Don Logan Architects. Constructed in 1912 and listed on the National Registry of Historic Places, this building originally housed the generators and electrical substation for the 19th century shipyard. designed by Ecola Beaux-Arts educated American architect Charles Peter Weeks. The powerhouse stylistically formal and eclectic expression belies its original purely technical function. Despite being built to house machinery, the powerhouse was beautifully appointed with a 5-ton gantry crane and mass timber framing alongside mosaic tile floors, hardwood, marble, and brass. The tenants needed increased floor space in the 20th century office amenities, all while maintaining the powerhouse's unique character. The cramped interior was cleared of the equipment, except for one refurbished historic compressor, while period detailing was preserved and restored. Congratulations to Marcy Wong and Don Logan Architects. And now the honor award for historic preservation category goes to the Oakland Museum of California by Mark Cabanero Associates. Small change, big impact is how the Oakland Museum of California describes its recent garden and cafe renovation. Through a series of reductive moves, the project opens the museum to the surrounding neighborhood, strengthening, engaging, and access while supporting the museum's mission as a community-centered organization. Kevin Roach stated in an email from 2011 that the original vision for the museum was to be entirely open in all directions. Whether due to civil unrest in Oakland during the late 1960s or other programmatic requirements, the result was an inward-focused building and the garden complex enclosed by concrete walls separating it from Lake Merritt and the surrounding neighborhood. The renovation focused entirely on opening and integrating the building into the city of Oakland and adding infrastructure to support the museum's community-based programs. The new entry at 12th Street connects the museum to Lake Merritt across the street, which until now has been invisible. The planting renovation introduces a new living collection of native plant species to the museum's exhibits, extending the opportunities for interpretive content. Access to the garden and extensive outdoor art collection is free. And with the renovation, more universally accessible to all. Once again, congratulations to Mark Cabanero Associates. At this time, we'd like to open up the voting to the People's Choice Award, just before our last design category. Just scan the QR code on your screen with your phone or click the link in the chat. It'll take you to tonight's People's Choice Award ballot. I have some personal people I'm voting for, but I'll let you guys choose. Next up is our Concept Unbuilt category presented by John Kerr, Business Development Manager for Moen.
Thank you, Brian. It is my pleasure to present the Concept Unbuilt category tonight. The concept design represents the design team's initial response to the project brief. This category broadly encompasses many project types still in the concept stages. This year's nominees in this category are Mosswood Community Center and Park Master Plan by Letty Madam Stacy Architects. Elemental Architecture by Studio Skaggs Kennedy. And tonight's honor award winner in the Concept Unbuilt category is Mosswood Community Center and Park Master Plan by Letty Madam Stacy Architects. Bounded by evolving and divergent urban conditions, Mosswood Park is a convergence point for a diversity of users and activities within a historically African-American neighborhood. The engagement process began by learning from groups that have traditionally been excluded from discussions that influence the design of public spaces. Over 9 months, the design team conducted 6 community workshops designed to welcome diverse perspectives and identities. Over a dozen listening sessions that met stakeholders where they are, and an online survey. Community consensus around 4 guiding concepts emerged from the engagement process: dialogue with history, a green oasis within the city, energy and creativity, and resilience. The location, form, and materials of the new community center activate the historic Moss House nestled into the park. Congratulations to Letty, Madam, Stacy Architects. Next up, the People's Choice Awards and our Executive Director, Mike Wilson. Mike?
Thanks, John. Wow, that was pretty exciting. And I wanted to just make one quick note. We made a mistake on one of our slides. The Buena Vista House is by Ranger Studios, not Barron Studio. So our apologies for that mistake. Sorry, Jasmine. We'll see what we can do about that afterwards. Again, my apologies. So People's Choice Award. You've all gotten the QR code. The link has been dropped into the chat. So go ahead and vote. I can see that 30 or 40 of you have already voted. It looks like everyone's understood how to do it. So we're going to let that roll. And we're up to 61 votes right now. So I'm going to make my announcements quickly because we'll have to close this as soon as I'm done. So the People's Choice Award, now that it's started, we've got a few things to talk to you about while you're voting. First of all, I wanted to just give you a quick overview of what we did this year and what we're planning for next year with our organization. We introduced a whole bunch of new programs this year, including our mentorship program. We're proud to say we're now in our second cohort this year, and it's going pretty well. We've got 25 students in each one of those cohorts. So by the end of the year, we have provided internships to 50 students in our very first year, and we expect to grow that next year. Thanks to all of you that participated in being mentors. And of course, it's another way that we like to connect to the up and coming architects in our future from our local and higher education institutions like UC Berkeley and Diablo Valley Community College. We also turned our new housing forum, which became part of our shelter, which is sort of a week of housing and information. So these are two new things we did this year, which was to rebrand the home tours from just a simple one-day walk through some fabulous houses to a whole month of exploring shelter and its impacts in so many different ways. I do want to do a quick shout out to Ursula Curry. This was her vision to turn a simple one-day home tour into this fantastic week of shelter. So many accolades to her and her creativity, and of course the entire team that supported her and our organization in developing that fantastic program, which we hope to grow again and just be even better next year. Portfolio review program, we launched a test this year, and next year we're going to actually launch it. The reason I want to mention it here is because we're going to be asking architects to please help us review student portfolios. This will be an online platform open to all architects that belong to AIA East Bay. We'll be recruiting students to submit their portfolios, and that's another way that you can help burgeoning students as well as develop a pipeline to see what the next crop of potential employees are going to look like. And finally, it's election season here at the AIA. So we have 6 board seats available, 1 student position open as well. One thing that many people don't understand is you don't have to be nominated. Think of it more like an application. If you'd like to serve and become part of the leadership at AIA East Bay, I strongly encourage you to please respond to our nomination period so that we will start those elections in early December and announce our board at our forthcoming end of year party, which, if you could advance the slide, I think we'll talk about the excitement that we're actually going to put together a live show, or excuse me, a live get together. It's outdoors. It will be COVID safe, but we really want to put the appreciation party together this year just because it was such a bad year and we're all locked into these Zoom meetings. So hopefully at the end of the year, we'll come together, have some food and some socialization, and get on with 2022. And with that, I'd like to introduce our presenter for the People's Choice Award, David Burton with KTGY. He's also one of our judges for our design competition. David?
Thanks, Mike. I'm not quite sure. I don't have any. I'm going to mess up the flow of things here. I don't have any.
No, we're waiting.
Okay.
The two things that have to happen. We've closed the voting. We have a winner.
Tabulating.
Yes, the tabulation has occurred, and now we're trying to get the assets together, a slide of the winner. So out of all of the nominees, we had to grab that, and then also provide you with something to say about and to them. So if we just wait another second, I'm sure that Sydney will have that
I think I've got it.
slide ready to go.
Thank you, Sydney. Great. And so I'm very pleased to be able to announce the People's Choice Award this year. And that goes to 2013 2nd Street by LDP Architecture. This project is 19 live work artist units that inhabit a former dog pound animal shelter at 2013 2nd Street in Berkeley, California. It's located in a transitional industrial neighborhood, and the new 4-story, 30,000 square foot building draws upon the ruggedness of the surrounding warehouses, freeway, and railroad by utilizing unadulterated and honest materials. So congratulations to LDP Architecture.
So exciting, and thank you to everybody who voted tonight. I have to say that there were about 5 projects that were all within a few votes of each other. 108 of you voted, so thank you for your participation. And now to wrap up the evening, I'm going to hand off to Ashley Reiborchek. Once again, congratulations to the project of 2013 2nd Street in Berkeley. Ashley, would you take us out?
Thank you, Mike. Congratulations to all of tonight's honor and merit award winners. Thanks for all of you for being here tonight as well, and for your continued support of our organization. Of course, thank you to our sponsors, Moen, Nolan Tam, KTGY, Ratcliffe, 16500, for their generous support. We look forward to seeing all of you in the next year. Fingers crossed that next year we'll be sitting together in the same room. Well, with that, good night and enjoy the rest of your week.